everyone. You are tuned into the Vanna Collins Show, and I am here with the beautiful Dr. Lawana Gladley today. On the show, she's a renowned speaker, author, and emotional wellness doctor, and we all need a little emotional wellness going on within us. She's presented speeches and training sessions around the world to companies like Aetna, Pitney Bowes, AT&T, I read, the U.S. Coast Guard, pretty impressive, and she's been in national magazines and radio programs. You've written over 5 books, and
the fifth.
Yes, this is the fifth. Okay. And so today you're discussing about the 5th book, which is titled, If You're in the Driver's Seat, Why Are You So Lost? So I'm going to dive back into it real fast. You began your book with readers taking themselves kind of back into the early childhood days. You wanted us to kind of relive those moments in our childhood. Why do you feel that it was so important to take it back elementary?
Well, because who we were, what we were taught growing up, all of that has to do with who we have become. Mm-hmm. We remember those memories. They will never be erased, whether they're positive or negative. And they have such an impact. And a lot of the healing that needs to be done with people, it takes them back to their childhood and the things as they were developing and formulating into an adult. Then it persuaded them positively or negatively. So it's important to help people to understand why you were like you are.
Right. I think it's very important. And when I reading the book, I realized, thinking about my development as a child into the person that I am now has a lot to play with it. And I don't think we understand just how vital that role of childhood is into our adulthood life.
Absolutely.
Okay. So you refer to mapping your life's direction as your amazing life. Elaborate on this for me.
Yeah, who doesn't want amazing life?
Hello, I do.
That word itself, when you think of something amazing, it just brings about all these positive emotions. And I really want people to understand that you can create the kind of life that you want. And because the word amazing is in itself amazing,
yeah.
Who doesn't want that? So even if you fall short of amazing, it's going to be better than what you have right now.
Well, I like that, guys. I'm telling you, check this book out. You have got to get in it, read it, and follow the steps to an amazing life. Okay? You mentioned in your book that you're like our personal GPS. Why are you, Dr. Gladney, our personal GPS?
Because in this book, and I wanted you to think of it as that, and a 24-hour coach, because there is no life class, there's no life management class that teaches you what to do with your life. I was in college for 12 years and in grade school, K through 12. So a total of 24 years of my life, and I never took a class that taught me how to manage my life. Nobody else does either.
Right.
So when you get in those situations and you find yourself in a space and you don't know what to do, and you're going, what should I do? Right. You're at crossroads and you feel like you're lost. I felt like it was very important to put down the steps and to tell people, this is what you do. Step 1, step 2, step 3, because it's real easy for people to follow direction when they have one. And because they can't call me 24 hours a day,
right?
I can look this up in the book.
Okay. And it's good to know because, as an individual, sometimes you don't want to talk to your sister or your parents or your friends about what's going on in your personal life.
Right.
So a lot of times reading it kind of, helps you take the steps to a necessary better you.
Absolutely. And because I work with individuals as well, what I find is so many people are sharing things that they've never shared with anybody.
Wow.
And because I am, I'm not connected to them in their lives, they don't feel like they'll be judged. And so, of course, reading it in a book, it really feels great that, okay, somebody understands. And this book was written so that it can resonate and you feel like I'm there with you.
Okay. And in the book, speaking of being there with us, you kind of threw your own situation in there that, took part in your life. And when I read that, it was kind of like, okay, this kind of turned a little soap opera-ish. Like, oh my gosh, how did you handle it? What did you do to kind of get you through that situation? Why were you so lost?
Okay, yeah, I'm assuming you're talking about my divorce.
Yes.
23 and a half years.
Whoa.
and 4 children later.
Wow.
Yeah, so when I actually first started writing the book,
Mm-hmm.
I had to stop because I was lost and I really couldn't give people that direction at that present time. So I had to go through my own understanding, my own journey.
Like a self-clean.
And it was absolutely. And
Okay.
then everything that I've told everybody else, I had to internalize it myself and follow what I told everybody else. And said, you're not ready because I was lost. That was a great experience, so that in writing the book, it took on a whole different level. And that was very meaningful. So what I did was, I'm a woman of faith, so I did a lot of prayer, a lot of reading, a lot of positive reading, affirmations, all the things that I talk about in the book, and getting the direction. Plus, I go to counselors, I have coaches, mentors.
What?
I tell people everybody needs somebody
Wow.
to help keep me guided and directed on the path. So then when I came out of it, I'm like, okay, I need to give everybody the steps of what they need to do with their life.
Wow. I mean, I found that part like really, really interesting. I like how you redefined who you were. The steps I feel are essential in redefining yourself. And, you kind of said the first one was to reevaluate the past, reorganize the present, and replan for the future.
Absolutely.
How does one go about that?
Well, of course, so taking my situation, you're in a space where you never planned to be.
Right.
So you're looking at the past, and the reason it's important to look at the past because you got to learn from those mistakes. You look at the past, you see what did you do, what could you have avoided, what part did you have to do in all of this, because everybody's responsible for their life. And then when you look at where you are, and it's like, okay, now this is what I need to do. Now I'm trying to recalibrate. And then because your future's not going to look like you thought it was going to look, you're not going to be sitting, for me, I wasn't going to be sitting on the front porch with our grandkids around us saying, I didn't remember when. That was gone. So I had to replan and say, what does this future look like now? Now that I'm by myself, now that all the dynamics of what I thought at one point was going to be, it's not that anymore. So it's important to say, okay, my future's going to look different. And really to embrace the change and not be afraid of it, because that's really what stops people. It's like, I don't know what I'm going to do.
And a lot of women can relate to this,
Oh,
getting
absolutely.
divorced after dedicating yourself to an individual for such a long time, and not even necessarily marriage, sometimes long-term relationships.
Absolutely.
So I think what really caught me was replan for the future, because we get in that mode where we're content where we are in the relationship, and then we have to think about, okay,
Right.
it's not here anymore.
Right.
What am I going to do now?
Yes. So, but you have to have a plan for it, because what happens is most people, they just let life happen. And they don't know where they're going. That's why so many people are lost, because they don't have that plan. So I emphasize that in every single chapter in this book, and I have a chapter that is just on relationships.
Yeah, you do.
And I emphasize that you have to plan out your life in order for it to look like you want it to look. Otherwise, you just reacting to whatever life brings you. And that's why most people are stressed.
Okay. And we've all felt the feeling of it wasn't supposed to be like this. That was another one that caught my attention. I've had that feeling, it wasn't supposed to be like this. I wasn't supposed to be in this situation. How do you help one get through that?
Well, what I say is, where you are is where you're supposed to be. And
Embrace it.
I know, and where you are at this point in your life, and it's accumulation of your choices, decisions, feelings, accumulation of your life. And I even talk about that when we talk about thoughts. Your thoughts, you're exactly where you thought you would be in your life right now. So whatever that looks like, it is supposed to be. It doesn't matter how hard, how difficult, because some things that happen in life we cannot control. So I have people understand what you can control and what you cannot control. Most of the time, we feel like it's the things that we can't control. We say, I'm not supposed to be here. How did this happen to me?
Right.
But then when you step back, everything that happens to us in life is a lesson. So it comes to us as a lesson. And I help people to refocus and to say, what is the lesson here, no matter how negative the situation may be or how bad you feel, there is a lesson. that you're going to take away on this journey?
Wow, guys, this is deep. I mean, gosh. Woo. How quickly can you find your way back? That was one of the questions that you asked your readers. How can one determine that, Dr. Gladney?
Well, you have to have a plan.
Ah!
How
Okay.
quickly do you plan to find your way back?
Mhm.
So some things you just know. So taking my life, I knew that they say it takes about 3 years to rebound from a divorce. So if I wanted to defy those odds of what research has already put out there, I said, let me plan to do that. How am I going to do that quicker?
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's about a plan. It's not about, let me just see what's going to happen. Let
Right.
me see how. You got to plan it out and say, well, by this time, this is where I plan to be. And first of all, it's really all about making that decision that you wanted to be different, because most people don't get there. Like I said, they're sitting and waiting for life to happen to them. But when you say, okay, I'm going to make a decision, it's going to look different. I only want it to take X amount of time for whatever it looks like to make these changes. And that's what you work on, and you focus your energy there, and all of your mind, body, spirit aligns itself to get you where you're wanting to go.
Wow. Okay, this guys, I'm telling you, if you were here right now, you can experience what I'm going through. I mean, I'm making mental notes of everything that we're speaking about. The last thing I wanted to mention is that your book is available for pre-order right now, right?
Well, no, it's out.
Oh, it's out. Okay.
It came out in January.
Wow.
So
Okay.
it is out in all the Barnes and Nobles everywhere. You can walk in any Barnes and Nobles, get it off the shelf, anywhere that books are sold. Definitely on Amazon.
Right.
But I encourage people to go to my website, because you can download a free chapter.
Oh, what's
at
the website?
creatingamazinglives.com. creatingamazinglives.com.
Okay.
And sign up for the tips and the things that I also give, and they can download a free chapter, and then they can order it from Amazon there.
Okay. Okay, guys. And again, we are wrapping up with Mr. We are wrapping up with Dr. Lawana Gladney. And if you're in the driver's seat, why are you so lost? It's no reason for you to be once you get your hands on this book, guys. Go pick it up. Stay tuned to the website. Check in on the website. Shoot her an email or anything if you have any questions, right?
Yeah, follow me on Twitter
Okay.
at Dr. Gladney, and like me on Facebook.
You
Dr.
know we
Gladney.
love to retweet quotes, right? So make sure that you follow her. We'll stay tuned. Thank you for joining us, and make sure you get a copy. Bye.